Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Ray Reynolds here with RaysWebinar.com. Ultimate goal is help every one of you try to reach that $1 million dream. Get you the money, the rules, and the tools. In the beginning, I'm always going to tell you, get a tablet and pen, put it here as you write it down. Do not take pictures, do not record. First thing we got to do today is write down today's date. Can you imagine today is the 28th? All right, of May 2021, last day of the month, last day of the week. Guess what you get to do? You get to write down December 31st. Now, between now and the end of the year, you should reach the $1 million dream. I don't know why you didn't do it last year or the year before that too, but you should have. So let me help you just a little bit today. Procrastination is the killer of dreams. What did you forget to do yesterday? You had to do today till tomorrow too. That doesn't happen anymore. You see, I don't control time, neither do you, but all right, we do control what the time we are given. So we get to follow through. Basically, I started my first corporation. I was 9.5 and I sent away a little money order after studying and reading almost every day at the library. It's called Helping Hand Industries, by the way. Got $100,000 in the mail. All right, went worldwide too. But guess what? There's me in 2009, one of the yachts. Lamborghini building, one of the mansions, and a helicopter too. See, everything I touched turned to gold ever since I was 4. Before that, I got to steal and beg off the pier, eat out of a trash can too, and that kind of sucked. So guess what? July 4th, 2009, we took people on that corporate yacht, having fun. Next day, I'm in a coma, and I got to die at 5:41. You see, I ended up having swine flu pneumonia. Someone came on my yacht the night before and killed me the next day. All right, I heard my wife scream her head off. I heard my tax attorney trick her to sign a POA. Then I got to go to the other side too. But I was given a choice, stay in peace or go back. So I said go back that day. Now I'm here helping you. Ultimate goal, my story started when I was born in a taxi on the way to Gardena Hospital, by the way. Little girl got pregnant with me. She wanted a girl, but I'm a boy, so she gave me a girl's name, Ray's my middle name, by the way. Then I got to move 24 times. I'm 11 and a half years old. Ultimate goal, I had to learn the rules and the tools how to play the game. Let's see what I can help you to do today. Now, write down getting past go. You see, I believe you're all stuck. Now, I got to be with Mrs. Hope from 3 to 10 years old, too. She got her weekly and monthly checks, but every morning she dropped me off Redondo Beach Pier at 6:30 in the morning. She was a she-devil from hell. See, I guess I didn't have a lot of luck when I was just a kid. I didn't like stealing and begging off the pier. I thought it kind of sucked. Reality is I used the brain that God gave me. Got my first Lamborghini as a teenager. Got my Lamborghini collection too. Then I got my Duffy parked in my backyard. Or one of my mansions. I had 6 of them at the time. I broke the record for the highest kick on the planet in 1981. I just wanted to prove white men do jump and stupid people say we don't. I parked my race boat in my backyard. All right, where you park yours again? My helicopter, my yacht, and don't forget up at the Ferraris too. My question to everybody in this world today is, why haven't you got this? You see, I had to create the rules and the tools and create the blueprint for me. Can you write down Ray's rules today, please? The ultimate goal, there's my first car that I got as a teenager. Was a Lamborghini Countach, by the way. Ultimate goal, I think the problem with most people is the lack of knowledge while they bring the pain home. All right, time after time again. You see, if they had the rules and the tools since they were 18, they would have never brought the pain home in the first place. That's the problem people are lacking today, is the rules and tools how to play. See, credit is life. We all need it no matter what anybody says, but we need to know how to play. The ultimate goal, they called me the Godfather of credit, by the way. Probably because I built $3.6 billion for clients over the last 43 years. Let's talk about credit rebuilding today. The ultimate goal is pretty simple to do. When I trained Ken Yarbrough years ago, security chief at TRW and Asperian, by the way, I'm hoping today let me train you just a little bit too. Can you write down Credit Services Act, please? I'd like you to Google it later today. It will take you to the Federal Trade Commission. On their front page it says credit repair is a scam, not allowed to collect money up front. Then it'll tell you about going to the Credit Repair Organization Act too, where it says attorneys can't do credit repair. So what are you supposed to do? Well, the bottom line is your credit's not broken. You kind of screwed it up. You have to rebuild it today, and let's build that relationship so I can help you build your dreams. By the way, that information is provided by the Federal Trade Commission, by the way. Ultimate goal, every seminar, workshop, and boot camp, you're stuck with me. I don't pass the buck. I do broadcast up to 3 times a day, Monday through Friday and all day Saturday. I don't like pre-recorded crap, by the way. So here's what I did. I wrote down 1,000 rules and steps. You can't even screw it up. The only thing you could do is if you stop, you go back to where you left off again and just follow through. So here's the first 25 steps I'm going to give you today. I want to make sure you set up that foundation, by the way, and start your day out right. Ultimate thing is number 1 is always go to raisecredit.com. Clickety-clack on the front page and get your credit reports for free. Then give me the report numbers right away. I'll make your credit score go up, and away, usually in about 90 working days. The longest it'll take me is 6 months or less. Step 1, by the way. Next, I want you to ask yourself the word why. Write it down a couple of times, too. In other words, why do you have an SSN today? A Social Security card. Why don't you get it out and look at it front and back today? Let's read it. It says flat out, do not use it for ID purposes. Do not laminate it, too. That's step number 2. Now, when you read the card front and back today, it even says property of Social Administration, not you. It's not even your card today. Ultimate goal, you allow the creditor to use and abuse you too. All right, if you give me the report numbers, I'll put it in my system and your credit score will go up, and away in about 90 working days. Like I said before, it might take me up to 6 months, but that's as long as it'll take me to do this for you. That's called step number 3, by the way. Now, I have a program called Rapid Refresh. What it does is it puts your score up 40 points to 200 points, by the way. Here's basically what I did is I took a picture of Credit Karma because we know it's free. They have no phone number to help us, but that's okay. We'll figure it out some way anyway. Now, here's a lady. She had a 500 score. I got her 157 points in 45 working days. If you'd like me to do that for you, just let me know. Now, bad credit's choking the life out of everybody usually today. But here's what I want to do. Give me the report number so I can analyze you. Then I can basically decide what type of dispute method to go through, creditor or credit bureau. I might even tell you to negotiate a debt or two. Next thing is we might even have to take legal action as well. Kind of like when I sued Chase Bank years ago and made their president come to Santa Ana, all right, in Orange County, and guess what they had to do? Not only did I beat out of him, but the court said give me $5,000 anyway, because they were lying through their teeth just a little bit. Just because they're big doesn't mean you can't take them down. Now, here's what happens today. If you basically want me to do a rapid rescore and credit rebuilding for you, average case is about 90 working days. What I'm going to charge you is $4.99, and that's all you're going to have to pay. I know that some of you have been using that $99 a month for those credit repair company flakes, which are not allowed to collect money up front anyway, and one of you have been in there for over 2 years. You wasted about $2,500, by the way. So if you want me to do this for you, it's simple. It's $4.99. That's all you're going to pay. I'll even give you a money-back guarantee. And all you got to do is realize I take Zelle, or bank transfer too. I don't want to jack up your credit card and bring your score down. I'm trying to bring it up again. I'll probably make it better than it's ever been, by the way. And you can email me flat out. They're basically products@raisecredit.com. So it's $4.99. You Zelle, or you do a bank transfer too. Ultimate goal is get you through this process and understand how to play. Now, you also add yourself to the national mailing list, by the way. That's how you get all that junk mail. That's how you get half your robocalls too. If you call 888-567-8688 today, opt out for 5 years, please. It'll slow that process down for you. That's step number 4. Ultimate goal, what we got to do is set up basically a couple things. Remember, we got to plan the problem. Here's what happens. Most of the time, most people don't plan the problem. You probably got knocked down, someone got in your way and took it away from you too. Now, the next thing we have to write down is called safety credit. Each one of these cards is $50,000 apiece. Problem about personal credit, you can't write off the credit card interest rate at all. Here's what I want you to do is put a sticky behind every credit card you have today in your personal wallet. I'd like you to write down the limit. What's 29%? You see, the moment you jack up a card past 29%, you dropped your score, you got stuck, you can't get any more. It's just the truth. Now, the line of defense is pretty simple. In your city, you probably see some banks and grocery stores. They shut down some locations, they bankrupt the locations and wrote off on their taxes. And they have other ones open today too. See, they know how to play the game, but not you. Some reason you like bringing the pain home to you and your family today. I'd like you to put the sticky behind those cards. I'd like you to remember never to bring the pain home ever again. You have to learn the rules and the steps and the tools today. It's called step number 5. See, you're the one who makes your credit score go up and down. Nobody else does but you. But you got to maintain 25 to 29% usage. That way you can maintain an 820 credit score. Ultimate goal, unfortunately, when people lose a job or have an emergency, they tend to all do the same silly thing. They run out of time, they run out of money, and they jack up their credit in 42 days. Did you do that too? The reality is you never had to do that in the first place. What I'd like to do is repackage your life today. I'm talking house, car, and bank account. Hopefully you wrote that down too. You got to learn how to play. Now, years ago, I built credit for my cat to prove my point. I got written up Big Magazine in that issue there, right there too. It said use plastic to finance your business. So understand, corporations can write off interest rate, credit cards, lines of credit. It can finance itself and write it all off too. Unfortunately, what you did is you took it from your family, and you kind of screwed up too. But if a cat has 9 lives from now on, so will you if you listen carefully too. So let's pretend today you needed $5,000 now. You asked your friends, your family, the bank, and they wanted to help you. No, they all say no anyway. You backed yourself in a corner. Let's understand, this is a $5,000 card in my hand. If I max out the card today, the payment's $50 a month. You could have the worst credit in the world, and you still, they say, you waste $50 every other day. Is that true about you? I hope it's not, but it could be true too. Now, understand something today. Most people waste $140 a week. Is that true? You see, if I maxed out one of these 50,000 cards today, the payment is $612.26. So what the average person is wasting in a given month could have got 2 pizza restaurants with a drive-through. In other words, stop wasting money, quit bringing the pain home. You never had to do that in the first place. That's step number 6. Ultimate goal is pretty simple to understand. You're going to have to believe in yourself. I believe in you. You're here with me today. But I believe in God and I believe in me. That's why I broke the record for the highest kick on the planet in 1981. Once again, I wanted to prove white men do jump and stupid people say we don't. Remember, you got people around you that tell you can't do this or that too. Give yourself a break. Remember, God gave you a gift and a dream. See it, believe it, go get it, please. Now, the reason you got an SSN is to start a job so they can tax you on your income before you get your leftover called a paycheck. And then you created your 1040 tax return. So they're going to tax you till the day you're dead, and hopefully you get in probate too. This is the IRS. Is basically what? Public record for you. Problem is you don't know how to play. Let's give you a couple steps today to learn how to play so you quit bringing the pain home anyway. The moment you got your SSN, you got a credit card. You started your sparing, trying to do an Equifax too. You probably jacked up the cards, dropped the score, got stuck, couldn't get any more. Ultimate thing is you did it to yourself, sorry to say. Put a sticky behind those cards starting today. Remember, we are the collateral for the United States of America Incorporated. Ever since Nixon took the gold standard out. So keep in mind one thing. Write down Ray's rules again. This time write down $100,000 of credit. Let's write down 29% usage. That would give us $71,000 of safety credit case blanket the fan, lost a job, or there's a pandemic that lasts about 18 months, by the way. See, that would have let you feed your family up to 2 years. But you tend to take the money and credit from the family, roll the dice, and bring the pain home. Starting today, write down never bring the pain home again, please. Ultimate goal, you got to learn how to play. All right, it's called Ray's Rules today. Circle it 10 times too. Step number 7. Now, I've been in 2 comas in my life, one at 5.5. Last one is 2009, where I got to die. But God allowed me to come back. Can you help me change the world with the knowledge I know today before I die again? So let's remember today. There's my yacht, race boat, and you, Doc. There's my address too at the time before the coma. And there I am dead. Reality is God let me come back that day. Ultimate goal is pretty simple to do. Alright, I came back and walked around with an oxygen tank for 5 weeks. Then I had basically put my credit score back to an 820. Then I popped $1 million card again. I want you to focus on something that you're lacking today. Probably 100 things, but let's focus on this one too. All right, you don't have a backup and a backup for you. I call it a closet division. I've always had 5 of those. Extra body in the closet for me, because I don't want to bring the pain home to my family. I'll fight through the pain, but I'll pull out another closet division to basically have a backup and a backup too. This is where you need to focus today. See, you don't have to bring the pain home. You never had to. Ever since you were 18 years old, by the way. Ultimate goal, I got used and abused as a kid, and that kind of sucked. I remember crying my eyes out at 2.5 years old. Ever since that day, I wake up at 2:25. So what did I do this morning? I dropped to my knees, said, thank you, Jesus, for another day. Then I went and looked in the mirror. See, I want you to focus on something. I want you to learn to put yourself in check. In other words, go look in the mirror, stare at yourself for 2 minutes, do nothing at all. Then ask yourself 2 questions. First is, have I completed everything I need to? No. Is there more to be done? Always. Problem with most people, probably you asked your friends and family what they think about an idea you have. And what you did is you asked them to encourage you. Instead, they said, no, you got to do it this way or that way too. Unfortunately, they're going to cloud your direction. Give me 90 days. Shh. Don't tell anybody what you're going to do. Let's build it up for you. That's called step number 8, by the way. Now, remember, God's delays have never been God's denials. We got the ability to go get the money today. All right, it's not hard to do. Now, I haven't had a paycheck for 22 years. So now I get to help you. Now we're getting older, slower. We're not as pretty as we used to be. You go back to the job you hate. It's okay, because they're going to fire you eventually anyway. Then you're going to deliver some pizza. Now, being used and abused as a kid kind of sucks. And on top of that, this one boy named John used to terrorize the hell out of me. And those grown-ups called me a piece of shit. As a little boy, it wasn't very nice at all. They were using and abusive. I wrote down I'm important. I wrote down I'm going to be a corporate millionaire too. They laughed at that until I actually did it, and they had to come work for me and piss them off some more too. Drive a company car and show the world who I am. In other words, write some encouraging things down for you every day. Step number 9. From there, it's called see it, believe it, go get it. Whatever you see you want, just go pray over it. God open the door for you and go get it. Now let's look at Sam's Club, by the way. In California, 2 years before pandemic number 19, they shut down 63 locations, and they did it in 49 other states too. Now understand what they do. They have a bad location or they don't want it anymore, they just bankrupt the hell out of it, write it off on their taxes, and have other ones open today too. See, they know how to play the game, but not you. So far, you've been bringing the pain home because you want to. Can you write down tax ID division or branch number 2? See, you have 11 cities filed bankruptcy in the past so far. They filed a Chapter 9 bankruptcy, by the way. They planned if there was a problem. So remember, just because you got a bad day doesn't mean you have to bring the pain home anyway. Now, Apple was in bankruptcy in 1997. They were out of business completely. But Bill Gates wrote a check for $150 million and saved their assets. And if he didn't, they wouldn't be worth trillions of dollars today. So remember, today I'd like you to Google the word bankruptcy. I want you to find out everything I say is factually verifiable for you. When you look at the word bankruptcy and you Google it, on the form it'll say SSN. We only have one. We're all a bunch of ducks. Then it says SS4. Corporation, division, subsidiaries, and more. Sign me up for that too. Understand something. You never had to bring the pain home. You should always incorporate you like a doctor and lower CPA do, but that's up to you too. I don't want to screw up anything, but if I had to, the bottom line, I'm not bringing the pain home to my family like you. SSN equal 1040. All right, SS4 equals 1120. Line 10 right in front of you says banking and credit purposes, where a corporation will have interest rate and credit card line of credit too. IRS public record. Problem is, you don't know how to play, because they're not going to teach you the rules. They're just going to tell you what you got to do. SSN, we got one. SS4 times as many as we want to be. Unless you like being a duck today. You like being a quack quack? Stop being a quack quack and replace yourself starting today. Let's rebuild you and make you a division of a corporation. There's no reason you had to bring the pain home since you're 18 years old. You did it to yourself, by the way. Now me, I paid attention, and my favorite word's always been why. I was 7.5 years old, listening to a poker game every Wednesday night. I wrote down what they said that night. You know what they said? A corporation's a legal person. Can you write it down, circle it a couple of times too? I went to the library the next day. Lady handed me a book and said, here's a mock faces book. I read the book and got pissed off that day. I was looking for the blueprint, the instruction manual, like you've been looking all your life. Unless you get it through me, it doesn't exist. So guess what? I went back to that library almost every day from 7.5 to 9.5 years old. I learned to basically put the blueprint to connect the dots. If you got a corporation before you met me, they say that 9 out of 10 people don't do anything anyway. We got to create a blueprint, and we got to give it life today too. Remember, I went back to that library 7.5 to 9.5 years old. Then I sent away a money worth for helping hand industry too. Got $100,000 in the mail. I learned how to play. Now, if you do the corporations things starting today, someone's going to ask you if you're a member of the BBB. Keep in mind they're fraud. You got 10,000 to 10 million companies that will not play that blackmail money too. Remember, they got indicted in 2013. All right, even the city of Los Angeles said, get the hell out of my city because you're a fraud. The court ordered them to shut their office that day. Remember, that's 2020 and CNN. That's just not me. I'm just repeating the news. Winning the game of business? I wrote that 43 years ago. You got a choice if you ever want the blueprint and you want the 1,000 rules and steps for you. It's in 12 books and CDs. That's how we brought it up to the $2.6 billion in the corporate structure. The office sales are for $1,000. I always give half price on a live webinar, which is now $4.99. If you sell, all right, or you do a bank transfer now, email me at products@racecredit.com. Name, phone number, and address so I ship the product to you right away. Now understand, I want to get you to my workshop starting tomorrow all through the day. Now, I was the incorporator for a lot of rich and famous people in the past too. From Mr. Clinton, Fun, Arnold, Kevin Costner, Superman for Gold's Gym too. I even have a program for what? People coming out of prison. I repackaged Mr. Basically Freeway Ricky Ross. Then I got him a gold and a platinum card too. Ultimate goal, you're going to have to run your race and beat your doubt. But I like to hold your hand and teach you the rules and the tools how to play. By the way, that's called step number 11. Getting past go. Can't show anything I didn't obtain myself. God's gift, one of my mansions at the time. I parked my race boat in my backyard. Where do you park yours? All right, I parked my yacht. All right, my helicopter, my Lamborghini are building too. See, today I'd like you to change your driver's license, by the way, to a P.O. box or mailing address if you want to. It's going to be up to you. I'd like you to protect your privacy and protect your ass, and never bring the pain home using Ray's rules again. Simple. You even have the Driver's Privacy Protection Act, by the way. So, by the way, that's called step number 12. Now, when I set up the divisions, wrote the rules and tools in 86, multiple functions, disconnect, isolate, incorporate, and basically I always wanted 5 houses. If you got 5, one sues, you lose them all, come after you. Corporation that pierce the veil come after you too. But if you put them in divisions, one got screwed up, you had 4 left to go. It's a numbers game, by the way. You get to build supply and cash credit too. So the ultimate goal is learning how to play. Now let's say I got you a corporation with 9 divisions, got you up to $1 million card. Get to write off the interest rate in the credit card too. From there I'd tell you, let me give you 9 sisters. That way you get each division another card called a bucket of money, then a piece of property, then a franchise too. So since it's a numbers game and one got screwed up, would I not have 8 left to go? And then I go set up another one again and again too, like the bank and the grocery store do? You got the ability to play. Now I told you about house, car, and bank account. Let's talk about your car. Can you see where you're at today? Remember, when you bought that car, you let someone sweat you for hours on end. You lost up to $5,000, up to 9 inquiries too. When they hand you the piece of paper, said we need to pull your credit, please fill this out. You should have filled it out. Next to your signature, you should have wrote down this allows 1 inquiry and took a picture. You allowed them to use and abuse you. That should actually stop now. Now the ultimate goal, you still screwed up a little bit. Why? Because the car should have been, sold to a division and a tax ID. Today, you're the registered owner. Sorry to say that makes you a duck. So that's basically step number 13. See, I'd like you to cover your ass. It's like I covered mine. Today, when you drive that car to the grocery store and the bank, if there's a little bumpity bump, they're going to sue and scream their head off too. They got to put on a show for everyone else and you. Driver's license, insurance, registration, please. Now, guess what? Your driver's license, home address, really? The insurance, when a corporation could pay for it, instead you're paying out of your taxable paycheck. Okay, that's your choice. From there, you're the registered owner. Have you not seen the bloodsucker attorneys on TV? They're all going to sue you, and they're going to take everything you got. Because you didn't listen to me. What can I tell you? That car should have been a tax ID and a division. So at the end of the day, they get diddly squat. Why not? But that's step number 14, by the way. This car was purchased at basically fleet price and tax ID. The greatest gift, it doesn't show up on personal credit reports. Because some of you today, you got a repossession. Oh, don't worry, the IRS is going to give you a 1099-C. Congratulations again. Sorry you screwed up. You got to learn how to play. Now, I had 17 houses at 19, by the way. Problem is, I couldn't get number 18. Everywhere I turned, they kept getting in my way. I said, you're the expert. How do I do that? They'll let them, it's not possible. They'll loan the value. And how did you get 17? I go, well, you're the expert. You tell me. The moment I start transferring every property to a division, I freed up my credit report. Never had a loan problem ever since that day. See, your paycheck is taxed before you get the leftover. But that's up to you. Corporations tend to pay the tax after they pay all their bills first. It's like paying zero tax on $10 billion, which Amazon did, and you pay more tax than they do. Congratulations again. Can you draw the 4 boxes in front of you, please? See, I like you to set up the line of defense in case what happens with a division or an entity. I want you to not bring the pain home ever again. If you would have did what I'm telling you today, you would have never brought the pain home ever since you're 18, by the way. That's called step number 15. See, I build credit under SSN and SS4. How much would you like today? Now remember, tomorrow, all through the day, it's 7 a.m., all through the day to 4 o'clock, I'm doing classes all day. You might want to learn how to actually put money to a Nevada Corp in the future when you get to the profit zone. Until then, incorporate in your own state too. Bottom line is called how to, a stock kit and a paper trail class, and that's the Bible of the Corporation for you. That's at 2:30 tomorrow. It's a specialty class. You might want to go to there too. Ultimate goal, if all you want from me is a 750 score, I'll guarantee it and charge you $4.99. Then I'll invite you to a class on Saturday, Education Analyzation 2. It's guaranteed within 6 months or less. From there, it's a bank transfer of Zelle. Then you email me right away. Ultimate goal, I only have 2 packages for corporation. This one's called Starter Package for Millionaire. You get the credit rebuilding, the wrapper rescore too. If you got a corporation, I'll help you build the one you got. If not, I'll hand you the articles, also with tax ID, and level 1 and setup on Wednesday and Saturday for 3 months. Office sales are for about $2,000. I give you $10,000 in credit and I always give you half price of $999 to you. Since I'm building you $10,000 in credit, I give you 10 times more than you actually invested in yourself back. See, my goal is to take away your excuses. The millionaire in the making, normally $4,000. You get the same goodies, but it comes with $25,000 of cash credit. And half price is $1,999 to you. Once again, you bank transfer or Zelle. That's all you got to do. From there, you're stuck with me for 90 days minimum. Now, run your life through a corporation. That's what I'd like you to do. Like, CPAs, attorneys, doctors, lawyers do, but it's up to you. That's step number 16. So, here's a Lamborghini, one of the part of the collection at the time before coma. Pay tax or buy a Lamborghini. Debt offsets taxes. But you get a paycheck today, so it's taxed before you get the leftover. And then you're probably paying for a car you should not. I don't know why you'd pay payment, gas, registration, insurance. You might want to say the word no and start driving a company car like I do. But that's up to you too. Ultimate goal, that's called step number 17. Now I'd like you to download an SS4 form today. I'd like you to go to irs.gov. Get the SS4. If you get a tax ID, you get 1120. Line 10 there right in front of you says banking and credit purposes. So you can write off the credit card interest rate, line of credit too. Remember, That's IRS public record for you. All right, step number 18. You'll find out I'm telling you everything is factually verified, by the way, too. Cities file bankruptcy, called Chapter 9. Bad day don't mean to bring the pain home ever again. You gotta learn how to play. Now, here's what I heard at 7.5 years old. It's not legal advice, it's Chapter 18. Can we read it together, please? It says a corporation's a legal person that may sue or be sued. But it didn't give me my blueprint I wanted that day. That's where I come in. I'm going to help you with the blueprint from me to you. The United States of America Incorporated set up their 50 states. All states are corporations, but not you. The states set up their divisions called cities. They're corporations too, but not you. I don't get it. Why would you not set up your line of defense? They do. It's your constitutional right too. They even thought out if there's a problem what to do. They invented a Chapter 9 bankruptcy, by the way, just in case so they can bankrupt the debts of a city and stay in business today. You got to learn how to play. It's public record for you. Remember, you are we the people. As long as you're trying, you're not dying. If you're not trying, you might as well be dead. Ultimate goal, Nixon took the gold standard out. They haven't stopped printing money 24/7. Mom, I delivered a baby this morning. Hospital handed her an SSN form within 3 hours or less. It's federally mandated, by the way. If she don't sign the form, the baby's not going in the stroller. Of course, he cannot go home. Now, Walt Disney, loophole king in Newsweek, they have $1 billion in the bank. They don't want to pay tax, so they wrote an IOU to themselves. Dead offsets taxes. You see, you pay more tax than Goofy and Mickey do. Maybe you want to learn to play. Ultimate game, goal is up to you. I know online you're going to see some websites that lie. You don't have to guarantee, excuse me. You have to be a qualified CFO to get cash credit to a corporation, period. 9 lines of credit, all right? 8 lines of credit cards, too. Or you got to get supply credit, vendor credit, marketing credit, lease credit, gas cards, too. End of the day, you got to be a qualified CFO. There's no choice. It's just the truth. Now, before you get the trade line crap, please look up the Fair Lending Act, because I don't want to visit in prison, by the way. You got a choice to remember. Corporations write off interest rate credit cards and line of credit too, but not for you. You see, last year we probably lost $10 million plus. You know, COVID-19 wiped out a lot of things. We have to rebuild a lot of people. But on the other hand, is we built a bunch of credit lines and people didn't pay their balances. So if you want to pay a balance and get one for you, let us know. You can always call the office at 800-510-3338. Now, I'm hoping and praying you bought your house my way. Raise your rules. Escrow close, homestead, put it in a trust. Oh, you didn't do that? So if they sue you, they take it away. I told you, house, car, bank account. And if you die, get stuck in probate, and your family got diddly squat, I guess that's the way you planned it that day. When you hire a contractor, you're probably going to realize they hire subcontractors that stand outside Home Depot, right? And if they cut corners, slip and fall, and sue you, they take everything you got. But if you listen to me, maybe you'll think about quickly deeding properties into a division. It's up to you. And maybe an assignment of equity, too. So at the end of the day, when they try to sue you, guess what they get? Diddly squat. Why not? You might want to think about irrevocable trust, too. It's one I would pick if I was you. Now, the next thing is, that's called step number 19. Now, here's the thing. I meet people all the time that say, Ray, I don't want to pay tax. I go, you're just a dummy. You cannot play peekaboo with the IRS making a mess. The IRS is the rule book. You play by the rules. Corporations will pay tax so they make a profit. So if you did that, go to irs.gov, all right, download a form called 656 433 A and B, get your free money, get your butt back in the system where it belongs today. Ultimate goal, that's called number 20, step 20. Now, I'd like you to buy and fix up properties my way. I've never put money into it to fix it up. I always save up to 70% going to the manufacturer through divisions. I'm one of the original OPMs, by the way. So that way I don't pay a bill for 30 to 60 and 90 days anyway. Escrow closes, it pays off the debt. Now I got up to $200,000 left over. I'm going to use raised rules, leveraging money, and borrow money is not taxable. I'm going to set up the line of defense, see it, believe it, go get it. By the way, that's blackjack, step number 21. Now, here's my location before coma. It's simple. It's only 22,000 square feet in Irvine Spectrum. Other buildings around the globe too. The bank would be at the office almost every day going, Banks love to kiss your assets when you got money. When you don't have a pot to piss in, they don't know your name. Banks usually borrow up to times 10 from the government and loan back 5 to you. Now that money from that escrow, leveraging money, raise rules, I would have turned it into $3 million up to that too. Borrow money, non-taxable, go buy McDonald's today. That's what I would have done. Now your corporation, I like it just to get credit, never do business. I like it to set up the line of defense so it owns businesses too, like most rich and famous people do. If something goes wrong with one of those divisions where they're the ducks from now on, if you have a problem, we're going to pull a Donald Trump, a Wells Fargo, a Citi, and rich and famous people too. We're going to do what's called the 3-step, by the way. Disconnect, isolate, incorporate. Can't save it. I'm going to try, but if I have to, I'll bankrupt a piece. Keep the other pieces and never bring the pain where? Home ever again. You never had to since day one. That's step number 22, by the way. So let's think. What are you willing to lose? It's simple. When you look in the mirror and do the mirror test today, ask yourself another question. Since you've been bringing the pain home since day one, corporation, division, what are you willing to lose today? You see, I don't want to lose anything. But if I had to, it'd be a division because they're cheap and I get another one and another one too. When I play the chess game, I know I have to lose a piece or two. But my clients are winners. They always get checkmate. Remember, that's step number 23. My wife asked me a basic question on July 3rd, 2009. Can we go to the Huntington Beach house and take out the corporate yacht? Why not, honey? I went to there and I said, fill it up, $1,600, use the corporate credit card, wrote off the interest rate, and I wrote off the yacht too, because you're allowed to. Next day, I get to die. Now, there's my race boat, my U-Dock, one of the yachts too. Where's yours? All right, die? No, it was no fun. But I got another chance. God said, stay in peace or go back. I said, go back that day. Came back walking around with an oxygen tank for 5 weeks. Put my score back to an 820. And I popped in $1 million card again. I always have my closet divisions, because I need a backup for a backup and a backup too. Because there's always some turd trying to take it away from me. Probably take it away from you too. You never had to bring the pain home since you're 18, by the way. Ultimate goal, God's using me to help you today. I pray these are turned on. Lamborghini in a building too. The Ray Reynolds University. Reach the dream, think and be the impossible. Raise rules. It works for me. It can work for you too. But I make millionaires. You want to be next? Let me know. Now, motivation's great. I listen to it every day. But again, it only lasts 5 minutes or two. I'd like to build your story up to an 820. I'd like to get you 100,000 of safety credit. Never use more than 29%. I'd like you to get a corporation divisions up to $1 million of credit. Never bring the pain home again and stop being stuck. All right, that makes no sense at all. So your goal today, if you want the blueprint from me, half price is $4.99. If not, the sales team sell it for $9.99. All you got to do is a Zelle, a bank transfer, and email me your name, phone number, and address to products@raisecredit.com. Now, the 14th Amendment, all right, turn corporations into people. So the bottom line is you have United States of America Incorporated. They have 50 states, corporations, and the states have their cities, line of defense too. It's your turn now. Let's get something to protect you and your family starting today. So never have joint credit. That makes no sense. Buy a house, escrow, close, homestead, put it in a trust, raise rules. Corporation always have up to $1 million of credit. Keep in mind today, divisions are cheap, so what we get to do is put a division for every piece of property, every franchise, every current business. The ultimate goal. See, you got to learn the line of defense. Raise rules. The ultimate goal is for you. By the way, that's called step 24. Now, if all you want from me is your credit rebuilt to a 750 and more, up and away in an average of 90 working days for you, it's $499. Ultimate goal is $1,999 today to you. And I build you $25,000 of cash credit. You bank transfer, you do a Zelle. See, like I said in the beginning today, is let's repackage your life, your house, your car, your bank account. Ultimate goal. Every time I hear someone online or in person, if I go to an event, I ask them, because I always say the American dream. My first question is to go up and say, well, here's about $10 million of credit. Are you going to help me like this too? Are you going to hold my hand every step of the way? Or are you going to take my money and go bye, bye, bye like the rest of them do? See, I think most of them are full of crap, by the way. They never give you the rules and the tools how to play. They do a lot of blah, blah, blah. See, we need money coming in every month. Pay our bills, drive a company car, go on a business trip, help other people free up our time. We got to master Ray's rules. Set up the line of defense. 1,000 rules equal $1 million company. 20,000 is billion. So at the end of the day, if all you want is a 750 score, up, and away, 90 working days, it's $499. It's included in the corporate packages today. You bank transfer, Zelle, and email me right away. From there, if you want the starter package for $9.99 and $10,000 of credit back to you, and 90 days of workshop and all the goodies too, you let me know. From there, Millionaires in the Making, $1,999, and you get $25,000 of cash credit, by the way. All it is a bank transfer, Zelle, and email me too. See, at the end of the day, you got to stay safe and strong. We got to do our best while Jesus does the rest. Amen to that too. Remember today. All right, I want to get you to the next step. So number 25 is simple. If you're not Zelle, bank transferring right away, call that 800 number. It's free. 800-510-3338. That's 800-510-3338. You see, I'm going to do my best all through the day, and God's going to do the rest for me. And I never forget, at the end of the day, all right, God loves us all.